Hello again. One of the things which many of us found very heartening during the COVID business was the sudden appearance of dozens of police officers who began patrolling streets, parks, and beaches on foot and actually taking the time to stop to speak to us, the ordinary citizens. True, they were usually hectoring and badgering us about walking too close to each other, or staying out longer than we should, or getting too much fresh air, and so on. But it was certainly a pleasing novelty to see some real visible policing. Alas, as soon as the supposed crisis was over, they vanished again, and today the sight of a lone policeman pounding the beat is once again as rare as rocking horse shit. But it was a pleasant spot of nostalgia while it lasted. Going off at a slight tangent, has anybody noticed that on the very rare occasions that one does happen to see a police officer on foot, they always travel in pairs? Why, for goodness sake? They never used to, and I would have found it weird as a child to see two police officers walking the streets side by side. What would be the purpose of that? You could double the effect by having those two men walking about in different parts of a district. This would increase the visibility of the police, which of course was what was actually done. Police constables had different beats so that they would be patrolling as individuals a few streets apart from each other. The other thing which I cannot help noticing is that the modern police are a right scruffy bunch. Their uniform is no longer navy blue, but black, putting us in mind of the Waffen SS, and they are often unshaven with tattooed arms and even earrings. Dreadful sight. Many of them seem to be midgets as well, and roughly half are women. Perhaps this is why they go everywhere in pairs. One has to question whether or not two young women will be as strong a deterrent against hooliganism and crime as one tall former serviceman, which category used to be seen more commonly as constables on the beat. When I was young, police officers still carried whistles. Seriously, you could see the silver chain at the front of their tunics. The reason was simple. If an officer got into difficulties in the streets of a city, he blew his whistle, and another policeman was usually on patrol near enough to hear and come to his aid. That's how common it was for policemen to be on the beat. They were always within earshot of other officers. Viewers might like to ask themselves when last they passed a constable in the street. You see, a nosy policeman walking around looking at things and at people acted as a deterrent to yobbos and crooks in a way that a police car driving by simply doesn't. The police were trusted by law-abiding citizens and feared by hooligans and criminals, which is as it should be. Look no further for the reason why disorder and bad behaviour as well as crime has risen so sharply. Nobody ever sees a policeman on the beat, and if they do, they don't respect or fear the officer. Then too, everybody knows that the police are politically biased these days in favour of the left wing. I want an example. Yesterday there was a rally in London connected with Tommy Robinson. The Metropolitan Police said that it had spotted attendees previously well known for involvement in anti-lockdown protests during the pandemic. Can anybody imagine the Metropolitan Police issuing a statement during one of those marches about Gaza in London and saying that they had spotted people who were previously well known for involvement in Black Lives Matter protests? It doesn't sound likely, does it? The police are political today, which is a bad thing, and it dents confidence in them.